This video is meant to do a little more than cement some couple things that might matter to some people. Yes, I smoke. Yes, I drink. And if I happen to live in one of the states that has legal pot, I assure you I tote. The name Zasdan actually comes from a work of fiction that was created by a writer that still so shitty that they haven't gotten their novel published. But it's in there, even though like the first reference of it is little more than the name. But you know, the work's out there. It really is. Like the person who wrote the work very much intends for a trilogy just all on Zasdan and everything else. But you know, this, that, or the other thing. It's been my online persona and my main video game name for Jesus, nearly 20 fucking years, like straight up 20 fucking years. And I have to say, it's pretty fucked up. Twitter took @Zasdan away from me. Like, seriously. They gave it to this guy who calls himself Marsdan in his official profile. Like, that somehow fucking makes it better. And you know, I just think it's really fucked up. I become homeless and Twitter takes my name away from me, and the name away from the author, and the name away from everybody else, and they give it to some fucking douchebag who don't even fucking deserve that cool of a name. Like, it's just kind of fucked up. I really have to say. I mean, that's just, it's messed to the nth degree. Fucking FFC cigarettes. You know, I have to say, like, there are some advantages to the FSC. I can see how these things have saved lives. But they saved lives at the expense of giving me a less enjoyable cigarette. And that's not the way to do it. And you know, kids, if you don't smoke, don't start. That's worse than I ever did. If I didn't start smoking these things, I probably wouldn't still be smoking these things. But I do love smoking these things. They are enjoyable. And true, a lot of that joy comes straight out of addiction, just from it's complex, you know? Cravings, what you want. Because I know all of us crave things. You crave food, maybe. You crave sex, probably. If you don't, there's something crazy about you. You crave affection when you haven't been touched. You crave loneliness when you've been touched too much. You crave whatever it is that you want. And that's the whole idea of need, addiction, desire, greed, is the things that you want, and you feel a compulsion to have them. And that is why you have a feeling of wanting them. And the whole idea of, for example, Buddhism is about understanding the fact that it is desire and temptation that creates want, which is what creates suffering, which is what creates hurt. Because if you don't want something, you're never going to not get what you want. If you want nothing, you're never going to not get what you want. But most of us want something, at least, and most of us want a lot of things, and we don't get those things. And because of that, we feel unhappy. We don't have the things that we think that we should have in our life. And it's a complex, yet really simple mental condition. The fact that because I want this, when I don't have it, I suffer. I am wanting it. I am craving it. I'm not in the best place mentally. And it simplifies all of it tremendously, but it is true. If you're not hungry, you don't miss food. If you're not horny, you don't miss sex. If you're not fiending for a fucking drag off a cigarette, you don't miss nicotine. And I in no mean, that isn't the proper grammar. I by no means intend to act like this is a good thing, because really it isn't the best for me. I mean, statistically I'll have lower lung cancer rates, but look it up. Trust me. Go to the CDC's actual official page and look at their research. But other than that, they gum up my lungs, they constrict my nervous system, they make my veins smaller than they otherwise would be, and more than that, the dependence, the fact that I keep choosing to smoke these things, and that's all it always is. It's never I have to. We always choose. Every action that we perform in our life is a choice. All of them. All of them. There's no I was forced to or I couldn't help it. Yes, we felt extreme at those moments. And that's how we might choose to describe them. But we chose. We chose to do what we did. And we know that right in fucking here. All of it is a choice. Every single time, every single way. And just as I continue to choose to smoke these, even though I know I would be healthier if I didn't, even though I know I'd be healthier if I exercised more, for some reason I choose not to do these things. And that's the important question, is why? Why am I choosing these things? Why am I deciding to take another drag? And not just do a set of 100 push-ups. And seriously, I can do 100 push-ups. Fuck you, Millinex, if you're looking at this. I'll put up that video later. Fucking... No, seriously though. Why is it when we absolutely know the right thing to do, we do not choose to do it? And that's where I'm gonna